All right, got some good news and some bad news. Let's start with the good news. Good news is I built a little daughter card here with my my chip. What was the number of that chip? It is a VHF prescaler SAB6456. Okay, so it's the prescaler. So the 144 megahertz comes in here out of the VCO, comes into here. It gets divided by 64 and comes out this wire, and then goes into the Arduino to be measured. It comes in on the timer pin, so there's one pin on the Arduino that's dedicated to timers, dedicated to counting, so you can get a nice 16-bit or something deep counter. And then there's an actual library for the Arduinos to do counting and stuff, so I figure, hey, perfect. So that's all working. It's on a little board here that I hot melted onto the little bare area that I have here. And so that works good. Let's see if I can zoom down here. Can you read that? I'm going to zoom in a little farther. That's better. So my display right now has the DAC value that I'm writing to the 12-bit DAC, the corresponding frequency that I think I'm programming, okay? So 134.3 megahertz is what I want. And that equates, the 10.7 megahertz difference equates to 145 megahertz. So when you turn it on, it defaults to 145. And then I just make it into kilohertz, so it's an integer, or a long actually. And then this other number here at the end is my frequency counter. So I want 134.3, and I'm getting 134.311. Or it's a little bit off. I picked up some noise because it's open. So that seems to be working good. Now the problem, so here's the big problem. The way that the Arduino code works and the hardware works is that it basically, when it goes to measure frequency, basically nothing else can happen in the Arduino. It's in a loop, it's waiting for numbers and stuff, and it basically just slows everything down. So it used to be when I grabbed the front knob here and turned it, it was working great. I had that going into an interrupt, and so it should increment that the last number on the left there, and you can see it's completely locked out. It's like ignoring all those interrupts because it's busy frequency counting. So that's a big fail. It used to just, every single click gave me an increment in the number. So that's a big fail. Now I thought this might happen, and it did happen. So I'm a little bit frustrated. I might shelve this for a while and do some other things to kind of get rejuvenated to come back to this project. But in order to proceed, my backup plan was to build an I2C frequency counter. And I still want to do that. What it would be is basically what I have here, the prescaler and the Arduino all working together, but a separate unit. And then this Arduino would be dedicated to handling this part, and then every once in a while it would go on the I2C bus and pull out the frequency count and bring it back in. Now, that sounds great. I'm a little bit worried about that even, if the I2C, if when I go to the I2C bus to pull it off, if it's not ready because it's frequency counting, will it give me an I2C timeout? Or will it hang the I2C bus waiting for that number to come back? I don't know enough about I2C to tell you. It almost kind of is like I need a dual port RAM where I can write it from one side and read it from another side. And then I thought, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll put I'll put in some I2C memory and have this Arduino talk to it and write it, and then this Arduino can go and read it. But that means I have two masters on the I2C bus, and I'm not sure how to do that. I've definitely had one Arduino as a master and one as a slave, but I've never had two masters on the same bus. So I don't know how that would work. All right. So anyway, it all seems to be working fine. You can see that we have it's counting frequency, and it matches the frequencies, well enough right now. I did put in a calibration routine for the slope and offset of the DAC and everything. So when you power on the device, you need to set a zero. Basically, you need to set y equals ax plus b. You need to set a and b, which is offset b, and slope, which is a. You need those two things. And the way that you do that is you press the 1 button, and it goes into a calibration routine. And the calibration routine sets the DAC to 0. And then it tells you, use a frequency counter and set the frequency to 137.40. And you can see here it went to focus. Focus. There we go. 137.402. So, once you get the offset dialed in, that's turning this knob. So all you do is turn this knob until you read 137.4, and then once you're done with that, you're ready to go back. But in the software, what you do is, see, it's when you reset, it defaults to a medium value, and so the two numbers of interest are 134.3 and 2234, okay? So you can go in the software and you can put in those two numbers, and you probably should use the one that's a frequency counter is measuring. So you say, okay, well, the difference is 134.313, and that happens at a DAC value of 2234, and then the software automatically calculates the slope. It knows all the numbers in the software, so it automatically calculates the slope. So that's the calibration routine. You set an offset and you set a gain by recording these two numbers in the software, and then you actually have to burn a new software. And that seems to be working pretty good. I'm getting okay values out of it. But I would like to have this feedback counter thing. I thought that would be super cool. We do have something working though, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the counter stuff on hold, and I'm going to see if I can't get this thing to receive. Now that I've actually got the correct frequencies coming out of the VCO, let's see if we can get it to receive at 144 megahertz, right? We know that it receives at 10.7 megahertz, but we've never received over the antenna. So that'll be the next step. Anyway, that's the state of this thing. This project, just kind of a heads up, this project was never, I'm going to make this radio work again. This project's been all about, let's have fun. I bought something cheap off of eBay. I can hack it. I can do things with it. And look at all of the things I've learned. I put in a board. I invented a little thing. Okay, I'm going to use a DAC, and I'm going to read it back. I've learned all about counters. Now I'm much more educated about measuring frequencies and stuff. I've never used a pre-selector before. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that I've learned just by doing this, right? You don't have to have a project that ends up actually, landing people on the moon, right? You can do projects just for your own benefit in education, and this is a great example. Look at all the things. We got to talk to the front panel. We got to learn about the wheel. The wheel didn't work with a go-around service routine. I needed to have interrupts, so I needed to learn how to do interrupts on the Arduino. I'd never actually done that before. I knew about it, but I'd never actually done that before. The interrupt routines worked great. It meant that I had to move some pins around, so it educated me. The next time I do a nano-based device, I have to reserve pins 4 and 5 for interrupts. Pin 5 is actually also lock down for the frequency input. So that's another thing. Reserve that pin for frequency and stuff. So a ton of information was learned by me just doing this little project. And I hope I encourage you guys to go ahead and try projects like this. It's a load of fun, right? It doesn't have to turn into a radio. It doesn't have to be a final thing. Just the fun of putting things together. I had a great fun with this thing, right? But it'll come back. It will come back. There'll just be a break, okay? I actually have some other things that I want to film first, and then we'll come back to maybe doing an I2C frequency thing. So yeah, there we go.